home team. This is 25 News Midday.
Well, good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome to 25 News Midday. I'm Lauren Melendez, and for Simone Doughton all week. How's it going, Jesse?
And not too bad. Meteorologist Jesse Gwynn off and running this Monday morning.
Yeah, and we are celebrating small victories this morning. So at home, think about what you're celebrating today. I put my contacts in under 1 minute. I'm new to the world of no glasses.
I don't think I can.
What did you celebrate today, Jesse?
Celebrating things. Celebrating no severe weather in the forecast.
There we go.
There we go. Simple as that.
There we go.
Although that is quite an achievement when you're still getting used to contacts. I remember those.
The world of sight is awesome. I want to tell you that.
I've got it down to a pat at about 3 in the morning when I'm putting those things in. I can do them in about 20 seconds.
No one warned me about this. But speaking of warnings, we did have warnings about
That's
the weather.
right. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on in the weather world yesterday with the active weather that we happened. We'll be talking about that coming up in just a few minutes. We do believe we did have a possible tornado touchdown in central Illinois. So we'll talk about that coming up. No severe weather today. What we are talking about, it's warm and muggy. If you've walked outside, you know that. There's the OSF cam showing that lunchtime commute, 79 the current temperature in Peoria, 82 in Bloomington and Normal right now. All of us running in those upper 70s, low to mid 80s. For some of us, Lincoln's at 85. Already. How about that? As we are talking about warming things up this afternoon. That front moved off to our north yesterday. That front helped to spawn some of those storms yesterday across the area. Well, on the backside of that, we've got the warmth and moisture in place. So going through the afternoon, here's what you can expect. Warm and muggy conditions in place. This is just the start of it. Tomorrow we'll add even a few more degrees. Full details on that and that recap of the severe weather over the weekend. All those details are straight ahead in that full forecast.
To national news, President Trump preparing for battle this week. Jesse, his top advisors will present him with a plan, they say today, for a rapid response team to handle the impeachment inquiry.
Yeah, that's right. Now, one official telling NBC, quote, "We're not going to take it lying down." For his part, President Trump is focusing his fire on the whistleblower.
Here's NBC's Kristen Welker with the latest.
This morning, President Trump is again lashing out at the whistleblower who has accused the president of violating his oath of office by asking Ukraine's president to investigate Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden. The president tweeting overnight, "I want to meet not only my accuser who presented second and third-hand information, but also the person who illegally gave this information. Was this person spying on the U.S. president? Big consequences." And over the weekend releasing this defiant video.
What's going on now is the single greatest scam in the history of American politics.
But House Democrats are determined to press forward.
I always said we will follow the facts where they take us. And when we see them, we will be ready, and we are ready.
Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff vowing to protect the whistleblower amid safety concerns expressed by that person's legal team, citing the president's attacks.
First of all, do you expect the whistleblower to testify? And if so, when?
Yes, and I hope very soon.
The president's outside attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who is referenced in the whistleblower complaint more than 30 times for spearheading the effort to investigate Biden in Ukraine, pressed on whether he will cooperate with Congress.
I wouldn't cooperate with Adam Schiff. I think Adam Schiff should be removed.
That's your answer. You're not going to cooperate.
I didn't say that. I said I will consider it.
The president's allies already out in force, including GOP leadership.
Was it appropriate for the president to ask for investigations of his Democratic rivals with another foreign leader?
I've never seen one talking point from a White House. I'm talking to you based upon the most important facts we have. The president did nothing in this phone call that's impeachable.
But the president's former Homeland Security advisor expressing dismay that the president asked the leader of Ukraine to investigate his Democratic rival.
I am deeply frustrated with what he and the legal team is doing and repeating that debunked theory to the president. It sticks in his mind when he hears it over and over again.
And after the president tweeted out a quote warning of a civil war-like fracture if he's removed from office, Republican Adam Kinzinger said that quote is beyond repugnant.
All right, well, topping the news this morning, the man accused of driving through a shopping mall near Chicago has now been charged with terrorism. Here's cell phone video showing people scattering to safety as the SUV plows through the Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg on September 20th. Police arrested 22-year-old Javier Garcia after he crashed into a store. Now, luckily, no one was hurt, but the incident caused major damage to that mall. And under Illinois law, terrorism is defined as any act that causes substantial damage to a building with 5 or more businesses and causing in excess of $100,000 in damage. Police also say they believe Garcia acted alone. Well, 3 of the 4 inmates who escaped from an Ohio jail on Sunday morning have now been captured in North Carolina. Bryn Martin, Christopher Clemente, and Troy McDaniel were arrested early this morning. Police officers found the inmates when they spotted a car at a motel in Cary just outside of Raleigh. Authorities say the inmates escaped after they overpowered 2 female security guards, stole a corrections vehicle, and drove it into a park where another car was waiting. Clearly, this was well thought through. Now, the 3 captured inmates were taken to a county facility where they are awaiting extradition back to Ohio. Authorities say the 4th inmate who escaped, Lawrence Lee, is still at large. And police have also arrested a suspect in connection to a quadruple homicide in Beaumont, Texas. 22-year-old Lively Stratton has been charged with 4 counts of murder. Police say Stratton lived with the 4 victims and that shots were fired as a result of a disturbance between he and his roommate. Stratton is currently being held on a $4 million bond. Well, a former Colorado deputy could be facing some serious prison time for his role in a deadly crash last summer. A jury found Qualayne Limbaugh guilty on 4 counts of careless driving Friday. Sam Kramer reports.
We understand it was not an easy decision, but we do believe it was the right decision, convicting Quinlan Limbaugh.
A former El Paso County Sheriff's deputy could spend up to 4 years in prison after trying to pass a vehicle on Highway 24. Prosecutors convinced a jury that Limbaugh's driving caused a dump truck driver to swerve, ultimately crashing into another vehicle, killing 74-year-old Kenneth Werfele and 71-year-old Dorothy Werfele.
We mourn with those who mourn, and the Werfele family is still mourning. In a case like this, there are no winners.
The defense tried deflecting blame onto the dump truck driver, but Judge Laura Findorf says the court did not find that claim credible, as prosecutors stressed the importance of safe driving in honor of an elderly couple no longer living.
It should only serve as a cautionary tale for everyone who gets out behind the wheel on the road to be extremely careful, because the slightest mistake can have lethal ramifications.
Again, that was Sam Kramer. Now here's a look at some of the stories making headlines around the world this morning. Some of the worst protest violence broke out Sunday in Hong Kong. Pro-democracy demonstrators clashing with police. Some protesters threw Molotov cocktails while police fired water cannons, rubber bullets, and even tear gas. All of this ahead of China's National Day tomorrow, marking the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic. And a collection of luxury supercars seized from the extravagant vice president of Equatorial Guinea as part of a corruption probe were auctioned in Switzerland on Sunday. The sale saw 25 vehicles sold that once belonged to the son of the Central African nation's longtime leader. Swiss authorities confiscated the luxury stash of cars in 2016 after an investigation into money laundering. They were practically brand new. Most of them had just a few thousand miles. Amongst the set was a roadster version of the Lamborghini Veneno, one of just 9 produced to celebrate the manufacturer's 50th anniversary. That sold for a whopping $8.3 million. CNN reports that the proceeds are going to charity. Well, a school system in Kentucky is combining modern tech with old-fashioned printed books, some gee-whiz computer programming, if you will, and the fun of a vending machine that's all intended to get students to read. Kids can take online quiz after they read a book, and if they answer all the questions correctly, they earn tokens, and those tokens can then be used as vending machine currency to get a new book.
Yeah, the school system calls it the Inchy Bookworm program. A couple of machines have been set up in an elementary building as well as in a high school. The machines are made by a company in Buffalo, New York. The idea seems to be working with all age groups. Even the school superintendent wishes he had one back in his day. There we go.
That's pretty neat.
It's a reading for the 21st century.
If you got to motivate people with coins, but it's
That's
not
right.
for food, it's for more books.
More books.
More books. We should have thought of that.
Is important.
I think they're onto something.
There you go. So too.
All right, well, still ahead, Jesse explains how we went from flooding to 80-degree temps. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
His full set